It looks like Miles Morales is set to leap from the animated and comic world into live action, as Sony has started the process of looking for an actor to play Miles in a live action film. So this report is coming at us from Jeff Snyder, aka one of the hosts of the Hot Mic Show. Most of you know that he's somebody that's actually worked in the industry in some of the, trades out there. So a lot of stuff he says, I believe it because he's not out here constantly dropping all sorts of scoops. He focuses more on things he's heard that are legit. And many times if you look at his track record and then what happens, he has been on the money more so than most people. So he reports that Sony right now has put out the call and that they are in fact casting an actor to play Miles in live action. Now, he does stress and clarifies that he has heard of no potential contenders or names associated with it, but that this is what they're working on and the process has started. So this would mean that Sony right now is actually meeting actors and that they are looking to cast Miles Morales. Now, if we just look at the timetable of casting to development of the project, aka having a complete script and shooting it, it's typically about a year. And if we look at what Amy Pascal, the producer attached to Spider-Man, said in the last couple years, that they want Miles Morales in live action sooner rather than later. And if you guys remember Tom Rothman, the CEO of Sony's, multiple departments, let's just put it that way, and the man who's sort of the spokesman and the front-facing face of the films division, he even stated that Miles Morales was happening next when talking about live action, which tells me that more than likely within the next 3 to 4 years, we're seeing Miles in live action. Now, again, I just want to remind everybody that this would be a Sony-produced film. This is not a Marvel Studios collaboration or anything like that. It would be Sony doing whatever they're going to do with Miles in whatever universe he's in. Whether that means brute forcing him into the Spunkverse or doing something completely different, again, we're going to have to wait and see. I know a lot of people, including all of us here at the CBC, were hoping that maybe this could be somehow connected to the MCU. Maybe if it's a multiverse film like Ultimate Spider-Man, his Spider-Man started out as, and then he got kind of brought over into the 616 comic universe. Maybe something like that, but this probably isn't it. This is going to be a standalone Sony approach. So who knows if there's ever going to be any payoff in the MCU, or maybe there's something that's going on here that we don't know. Whatever the case is, I'm going to keep optimistic. Again, we don't know the creative teams or anybody behind it. It's rumored that the guys that are making Into the Spider-Verse are on hand. But again, when it moves to live action, it's completely different voices that have a say, including the bigwigs at Sony and the bigger shareholders. So things can always fall apart. We'll obviously talk more about this soon. But I guess we'll find out who's going to play Miles probably sooner rather than later by all accounts.